Greetings to my fellow practitioners and those who seek for knowledge. I offer the hand of peace over the hand of war, and I give to you my loyalty and respect. I'm Morgan Garrett with Pakiti Tirshakali, and this is FMA Discussion Quick Bits. Let's get into it. In today's episode of Filipino Martial Arts Discussion Quick Bits, I wanted to address a viewer, Carl Billington, who had asked a question on my video of a stick flow into Hubud, which was a classic Pakiti Tirsha 5 attack stick flow that led into Hubud. He had noticed some puño management that I was doing. So in today's episode, we'll be sharing a few sneaky stick tricks that are used in Pakiti Tirshakali taught by Leo Gahe. One is a classic grip switch, and the other being some classic puño management. I hope you'll enjoy this. In our first sneaky stick trick, we're going to be talking about a classic grip switch. This can be from right to left or from left to right. It involves a fluid swing chambered from 1, moving into chamber 2, and so on and so forth. Now in Pakiti Tirshakali, we generally have 2 positions for the chamber of the live hand, one being at the plexus and the other being at the waist. Sometimes when we're using a spada daga, the plexus is the shortest distance for the jab, and then we bring and track our hand down to the waist so that we don't run our own hand into the point of our knife as we're swinging an angle 1. So often you'll find our hand chambered at the number 2 chamber for the live hand, which would be at the hip or at the waist. So this grip switch is going to deceive our opponent by bringing our hand to the waist chamber, and as this swings, this is where we'll be making our switch. So from here, I make the switch here. At the hip chamber is where I'm switching my grip. Switching from left to right can be very deceitful and can cost your opponent the fight. In 2021 at Tip On, I fought one of Lamont Glass's Blackbird group fighters, and he fought left-handed. I didn't pick up on this detail until 2 fights after my fight. During my fight, I got completely destroyed by a left-hand fighter because I wasn't paying attention to the details of the fight. Grip switching from left to right can be a powerful deceptive tool to winning you the fight. Grip switch at the hip. So for sneaky stick trick number 2, we're talking about puño management. Many of us in Pakiti Tirsha and other arts have been taught that there is a one fist principle of the puño left for striking. Usually as we chamber and lead with our number 1 strike, we're leading with the puño. If we're up in corto and I'm up too close to you to hit you with the stick, I'm going to instead strike you with my puño, right? So leading with the puño is part of the striking principles of Pakiti Tirshakali. So we have this one fist puño principle that many of us are taught. The problem with this is, and this is what the viewer Carl Billington saw when we were doing the stick flow to Hubud, is that when a number 1 angle is coming and somebody hack stops that number 1, right? Here comes the angle 1 in, and they perform a hack stop in Hubud. They then wrap their arm here in this fashion, and now they have that one fist purchase for a very classic disarm that's used in Pakiti Tirsha and used in many other styles, where that leverage now is being used to disarm your stick out of your hand. So one of the puño management skills that we're going to use is, as I'm swinging fluidly and I bring this to my hip, I'm going to connect my puño with my own hip and bring it in. Now I've gained a fist worth of distance in my stick that my opponent might not be aware of, which may give me the contact that I need to get in. So this puño management leads into the theory that in blade work, we're dealing with milliseconds and millimeters. So if nobody sees you make that switch with your puño from having a fist-long puño here, you're swinging and they don't pick up that you've changed your distance, you now have more distance to strike with. Also, When that puño's coming in and they hack stop and go, there's nothing there for them to lever. They have to work harder to get this puño out of my hand. They don't get the leverage that they are seeking. I'm still leaving a little bit out for impact and striking. It's not sunken into my hand, right? I've not lost my puño, shall we say. We still have a puño, but that puño is shrunken down to almost less than a finger. I can still impact with it. I can still hook with it and use it, but no one's going to get that leverage very easily. They're going to have to work a lot harder to disarm that stick out of my hand. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Filipino Martial Arts Discussion Quick Bits, our episode on sneaky stick tricks. I'm Morgan Garrett with Pikiti Tirshakali, and we'll see you next time.